Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Political Reformation. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Harry. Say hi, Harry.
Hi, Harry.
And today we're going through another campaign ad video that we're going to react to and break down as we go through. Today is going to be Jessica Cisneros, who is running against Henry Cuellar in the 28th District of Texas. All right, Harry, you ready?
I'm ready.
They said we had no chance. They said the patrones were just too powerful. They said change was impossible here. But we showed them that the dreams of immigrants, truckers, rancheros, and teachers can be just as powerful as their corporate dollars. Now we're back to...
What exactly is a ranchero?
No, she's talking about like farm workers, ranch hands, and stuff like that.
Because I was hoping that whenever they did the bilingual captioning, which I think is really cool, by the way.
This is fantastic. I do like that that a candidate is acknowledging the fact that there are people who don't speak English as their primary language in this state, in this country. I honestly think it's incredibly regressive overall to not have bilingual subtitles. I don't have bilingual subtitles because I don't have a way to accurately translate from English to Spanish. That being said, YouTube does have an auto closed caption system on there that I think works. I would have to get someone who speaks Spanish way better than I do to go through and take a look at it. It seems very obvious a thing to do for any political candidate, but there again, we'll see how it goes. Do you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, I was just hoping that, like, whenever I looked at both words, I saw they were the same, and I was like, I don't know what this is in either language.
Rancheros is really just like ranch worker, farm laborer. Like, that's what that is.
Okay.
And patrones is, the literal translation is patrons, but like the people in power. The man is kind of what that refers to.
Okay.
Finish what we started. To do what my dad taught me. Work hard, keep at it, y enseñar que la esperanza nunca muere. Over the past year, our community has suffered through this pandemic, waking up day after day, praying we wouldn't lose another family member or our jobs. And when we thought Congress would be the answer to our prayers, they ignored us. So I did what I knew I could. I kept fighting for South Texas families as a human rights attorney.
And see, that's something that actually really impresses me about her, is that she is a human rights attorney.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think we've seen very many people that actually do human rights law and things like that trying to transition into the political sphere. Regardless of what people think about her policies or anything like that, she is running as a progressive. So if that's not a thing you're keen on, that's fine. I understand that. It is at least setting a standard where people are coming in from that area, from that arena, into politics, because like she's got a boots on the ground view of what it's like dealing with the United States immigration system, which is absolutely atrocious.
Helping families who couldn't afford lawyers navigate our broken immigration system.
I agree.
So what's Henry Cuellar done in the last year since he got reelected? He introduced anti-immigration bills with Republicans to further separate families.
It said Donald Trump's favorite Democrat loses.
Okay.
Or nearly loses seat, because she did come close to taking his seat from him in 2020.
They're going to put that Donald Trump's favorite on there. Like, that is just the laziest attack that I've been seeing from everyone, is tied into Donald Trump, either as a...
Regardless of what you think about Donald Trump as a person, Donald Trump as a president, as a politician, that doesn't matter. The fact that just a mere tie to him is enough to potentially crucify someone is just lazy. It really is just laziness. There is so much stuff you could attack Henry Cuellar on, of him just not doing anything. Just the 2020 election speaks for itself. Cuellar had been the representative of that district for quite a while, and Cisneros came within 2,700 votes of primarying him. Someone who effectively was running as a no-name candidate in 2020. That is how bad of a job Cuellar is doing for the 28th District of Texas. At least as the voting constituency sees it. Let me roll that back so we can hear it.
introduced anti-immigration bills with Republicans to further separate families. He was the only Democrat to vote in favor of corporate interests over protecting workers and strengthening unions. And he brought unusable, defective COVID-19 tests into Laredo. South Texas deserves a representative that's going to fight for our dreams as hard as we do. For Medicare for all, so families don't have to go to Mexico to afford basic health care. For immigrants' rights, because we don't want a wall or policies that tear our South Texas community apart.
Yeah, that was a big thing with Cuellar, is that, $500,000 worth of unreliable, not usable testing material for COVID-19.
But weren't like all of the first wave of testing materials unreliable and not usable?
I don't think he was part of the first wave.
There was a problem in 2019, not 2019, 2020, where like a lot of the stuff that was coming in, it wasn't being stored correctly, it wasn't being handled correctly, and I believe that's what that footage would have been from, because by the time 2021 rolled around, when they had the correct stuff in place, you wouldn't have had like congressmen carrying it on their shoulder like, oh, look at me, I got some COVID tests for you. It would have all been handled by Walgreens at that point.
Everything else for her video that she's attacked Cuellar on, it seems to have come from a place where she understands the issue and is actually gunning for him. And so I think she would have done her diligence on something like that.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to, based on everything else I've seen in the video so far, I'm going to grant her that charitability of, I really think she would have done her due diligence before putting that in there.
Well, I also wasn't a huge fan of the editing when they showed the vote was like 225 to 206. Mm-hmm. What I didn't like is she just came off of him being against immigration legislation, and then they show the vote right there and then segue into how that vote you're looking at is about labor unions.
I will say that it seems like deceptive editing. I'm not ready to say that it was deceptive editing.
Yeah.
Because that would be ascribing some kind of intent that we don't know for sure.
It's just unclear to me as the viewer.
If we want to talk about border security and stuff like that, okay, that's fine. Fix the problem where it lies, which is in the immigration system. The system that we use to process legal immigrants is broken. That is the problem. That is what leads more towards undocumented immigrants than anything else, as far as I can tell, based on every bit of data that's available.
I think it's about trafficking.
Trump made it about immigration.
I would say that his words made it about immigration, but I think the purpose of it is, when we're talking about this area,
regardless of what the purpose of the area is, this is the optics. This is what he made it.
Okay.
For reproductive health care, porque nuestras mamás, nuestras hijas, nuestras hermanas, our friends and family deserve freedom, dignity, and respect. I'm not taking a dime of corporate PAC money, because
Okay, so that's something I can absolutely respect right there. She's not taking PAC money.
She's stuck to not taking PAC money in 2020?
Yeah, she's stuck to not taking any corporate PAC money in 2020. And I hope she sticks to that this time around too. I encourage everybody to go check out a website called, I think it's opensecrets.org.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you can view campaign finance for any candidate. Anyone that wants to go look that up about Jessica Cisneros, I encourage you to go ahead and do it. We're not going to do it in this video because this is just a campaign ad reaction video. We may start doing some analyses into campaign finance for different candidates going on down the road, but that's not what this video is really about. So let's go ahead and finish the rest of the video out.
South Texas families deserve true representation. Mi nombre es Jessica Cisneros. I'm the proud daughter of immigrant farm workers, and I'm running for Congress. I'm ready to finish what we started. Are you? Join us.
She was very direct and to the point. I think that's a good call to action at the end of the video. Regardless of what anybody thinks of her policies, this is actually a pretty well done campaign ad. Like, it's certainly better than the other ones we've watched so far.
Yeah, I like how she didn't use the traditional political colors at the end.
That's nice.
That was like a main takeaway for me and for you. It's just
Yeah,
nuts.
no, that was good because she was more concerned about being people oriented versus partisan oriented. And I do like that. I think we need more of that. And now when she's talking about true representation, I'll be charitable in that one and say true representation in that Cuellar is doing a very bad job as a representative, and she wants to be a better, truer representative for the constituents than him.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. That's he's not representing the district, is what it sounds like.
So, Harry, final thoughts?
No, I mean, I would have liked to see more specifics about what she wants to do, but also if she's coming in as a freshman, then like she's not really going to have a lot of policy she's going to be able to implement day one.
If you want, you can check out her campaign website. It does list some of her policy standings and things like that. My final thoughts, I think it was overall probably the best campaign ad we've watched in the last couple of videos. I think a lot of candidates could take a lot away from watching her campaign ad and actually start speaking more towards the constituency rather than railing on about talking points. Everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Political Reformation. We will see you again next week, where we will do another reaction video towards another campaign ad. I hope y'all had a great day. We'll see you next time.